Bitcoin has absolutely pumped to 47K. The ETF fee wars are on with Blackrock absolutely dominating the competition. We're in for an absolutely massive week, probably the biggest in Bitcoin's history. Millions of dollars are seeing the ETFs right now. Samson Mow, of course, he's still calling for a $1 million Bitcoin. The ETF could be approved as soon as tomorrow. Even Gary Gensler is putting out these statements, and there's a massive warning in the fine print of some of these ETFs we'll dive into. First thing here, James Seifert from Bloomberg. I know there's been a lot of noise, but just in case anyone has been living under a rock, we're in that Jan 8th to 10th window that many of us have had our eyes on. The Bitcoin ETFs are knocking on the door of an SEC approval window. This is referring back to December 2nd. He's been calling it pretty good, officially the 5th to the 10th. We are at the 8th today. How does it get any better? Look at this. Trillions of dollars are coming to Bitcoin. The Bitcoin ETFs and assets under management. This is who has put in for a Bitcoin spot ETF. Obviously, 17 trillion is not going to flow straight away, but give it a couple of years and we are looking gravy, baby. BlackRock 9.4 trillion, Fidelity 4.5, Invesco 1.5, 1.4 trill for Franklin, Wisdom Tree, VanEck 78 billion, Global ARK Invest, Grayscale, Valkyrie, Bitwise. In regards to Bitwise, we've got a massive announcement. We will have Matt Hogan here in 3 days' time. So make sure you do hit subscribe for that if we vibe to watch that interview live with one of the most interesting men in the world. So we'll jump into that a little bit later. The money is about to flow. Bitwise, and with the fee of 0.24% with a 6-month fee waiver to 0%. This is getting crazy. We need to read the fine print. Caitlin Long has put out a little bit of a warning here, a little bit of food for thought in regards to it, and BlackRock has undercut Bitwise there. Jump into the numbers first. 9 a.m. got to the beach this morning. 824,913 block height, exchange $47,021 sats per USD. It's closing on that 2,000 sats per USD at 2,127. Last block reward 1.845, 22.79% of fees, and we are closing down to the next halving tomorrow. We'll see it below a 15,000 left, and the block time has gone up quite a little bit. So we'll get a next difficulty adjustment if it stays like this, 12.29% down. Fred Krueger will be on tomorrow, 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Another reason to be able to subscribe. We will go live. He is stirring up the Bitcoin community. So if you've got any questions, tag me on Twitter or hit us up in the live chat tomorrow with Fred Krueger. All fees have been announced. BlackRock is going for blood with 20 basis points year one, 30 basis points after that. Grayscale's greed is going to kill them. 1.5% fees is going to create a massive exodus to BlackRock. This could be in itself $100,000 Bitcoin plus in a few days. Bitcoin, not the price. 100,000 Bitcoin flowing into the BlackRock ETF. We are trading above 45K. We're trading above 47,108. Right now, it is pretty exciting. It doesn't look like the sell the news crowd was right. Buy the rumor, buy the news, stack, chill, it's all gravy, baby. One thing I want to say is shout out to everyone in the chat. 47K at the moment. That's not financial advice. You know the drill. Let's get rid of the shitcoins in the background. First swearing. Oh, well, we made it 4 days, ladies and gentlemen. We did our best here. All you need to focus on is Bitcoin. Obviously, Samson Mow, just making sure here I'm still the only one saying Bitcoin can go to 1 million in days to weeks, right? Because when it happens, I don't want any of you bearish MFers saying you also called it. I did well not swearing. Now, not likely, but not out of the realm of possibility. This is the warning here, ladies and gentlemen. If you are thinking about getting into the ETF, let us know. Let us know your reasoning why you're going to go into the ETF instead of holding the hardest asset in the world. But if you read the fine print, this excerpt is from Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund Form S1 registration statement. Seizures in pounds restricts access are outcomes we want to protect our wealth from. Real Bitcoin is superior. The trust will dissolve if any of the following events occur. A US federal or state regulator requires the trust to shut down or forces the trust to liquidate its Bitcoin or seizes in pounds or otherwise restricts access to trust assets. Maybe a little bit of tinfoil hat on there. Blackrock works hand in hand with the government. When the Fed needs help, they call up Blackrock. They don't call up JP Morgan, but JP Morgan is the largest shareholder of the Fed. So we've got JP Morgan, the Fed, and BlackRock all working together with Bitcoin. Is this to get your Bitcoin? Maybe, maybe not. Long term, who knows what's possible? Do we get Executive Order 6102? I'll be asking Matt Hogan this question Thursday for everyone in the States, Friday for here in Australia. Pretty interesting. What do you think? I know it's a little bit of tinfoil hat, but they are putting this in their S1 registration documents. Now, Bitcoin soars past 47,000, outstrips Meta in market cap. It is the 9th largest asset in the world amid the ETF speculation and intense trading. Real quick here. Monday afternoon witnessed a notable surge in the market cap's leading crypto asset. Bitcoin is not crypto. Come on, get it right. Bitcoin.com. Occurring around 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Bitcoin experienced an increase exceeding 3,600 from its daily low, with many analysts linking this upswing to the potential approval of several 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs by the US SEC. The latest market figures indicate that Bitcoin's previous encounter with this price bracket was in December 2021, following its descent from the record high of $69,000. All-time high for the last 2 years. Well done if you have been here. Give yourself a pat on the back. You've done well. And again, subscribe if we vibe. We've got some amazing guests this week, and we've got Seb Bunny as well, a Bitcoin author who I'm reading the book at the moment. He'll be on Thursday, Wednesday for everyone over in the States. So it's a huge packed week. Now, Gary Gensler, love him or hate him. Let us know what you think of paid to delay. Gensler, he's been given the green light, the tap on the shoulder by BlackRock, and now he is putting out this. Yesterday we saw, and I showed you, the receipts are on the channel. Don't give in to FOMO, a thread. Some things to keep in mind if you're considering investing in crypto assets. If you're investing in crypto assets, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the wrong channel. If you're here to invest in Bitcoin, the world's hardest money, you've found the right place. You know what to do. Smash that like button. Shout out to everyone who is watching live. Now, thread number 1. Those offering crypto asset investment services may not be complying with applicable law, including federal securities laws. Investors in crypto asset securities should understand they may be deprived of key info and other important protections in connection with their investment. Makes sense with crypto. 100% agree with them there. Investments in crypto assets could be exceptionally or exponentially risky and are often volatile. A number of major platforms in crypto assets have become insolvent and or lost value. Obviously, we have seen that last year, over the last couple of years, with the implosion of Celsius, BlockFi, FTX, so on and so forth. Investments in crypto assets continue to be subject to significant risk. 3. Fraudsters continue to exploit the rising popularity of crypto assets to lure retail investors into scams. These investments continue to be replete with fraud, bogus coin offerings, Ponzi and pyramid schemes, and outright theft where a project promoter disappears with investors' money. Actually, a pretty good warning there from paid to delay. Gensler, well done for putting that out there. If you are investing in crypto, you may lose everything. If you're investing in the world's hardest asset, you know what to do. Just stack and chill, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've been preparing for. Got a little bit of a video here from Bloomberg. I'll pull it up full screen for everyone. And a shout out to everyone in the chat. 100 people watching live. If you've got any questions, comments, drop them in there. But let's, ears on, let's go.
Maybe 2 basis points here or there. It's almost right on it. The Vietnam ETF could be 1%, right? So the more exotic the underlying, the higher the premium discount. Where do you expect these to land? And also in the spreads, which is the bid-ask spread, do you see these, as they get volume, coming down to 1 or 2 basis points?
I think the spreads are going to be really competitive and tight. Look, the market maker community is resilient, is prepared to offer a lot of liquidity for this structure and resiliency around it. So the spread width is not the concern. I think it's going to be the premium above NAV. Because look, U.S. broker-dealers can't trade Bitcoin Cash inside their broker-dealer. Some can, most can't. And so you're going to have to hedge yourself with futures or trading at a premium, and then take that off. And I think that there's a lot of complexity there. So what I think, potentially, you could see 8% above fair value.
8%.
It'll be some crazy number.
That's a lot.
It's a big number, but let's see play out, right? Because look, you can't necessarily drive the arbitrage out. You can't trade Bitcoin directly. You'd be offshore to do it. And yet trading futures in real time, futures are trading at a premium to spot. I think that there's an equation there to be played out, understood.
All right, Eric's heart rate just spiked. I felt it. I'm sure you guys did too. Let's talk a little bit more, though, about how this evolved. So, okay, right now it's cash creation redemption. We know that if you take a look at the SEC meeting minutes, those memos that maybe some of the issuers were pushing for in-kind here, do you think that the industry will evolve to that point where in-kind is possible?
Absolutely. I think that this was really just to get the ball moving.
And here we are. The ball is moving. Hopefully we go to in-kind instead of cash creates. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion. Yes, they're going to have to. The game theory nationwide, statewide, globally. As soon as this ETF is approved, China will be straight into it. Max Kaiser still calling for that $100,000 God candle, Omega candle, whatever you'd like to call it. We'll dive into that a little bit later. He's trolling hard at the moment, hey, Mr. Kaiser. So Bitcoin ETFs so far, Fidelity 0.39%, Blackrock 0.2% first 12 months, or until $5 billion assets under management. How long does it take BlackRock to get $5 billion assets under management? Do we see it within the first quarter? And then 0.3% thereafter. ARK Invest, 0% for 6 months for the first $1 billion assets under management, and then 0.25% or 25 basis points thereafter. VanEck going with 25 basis points. Galaxy, 0% first 6 months for the first $5 billion assets under management. It's like Galaxy and BlackRock there are copying each other. But look at that, 59 basis points, 0.59% thereafter. That's absolutely huge. Why would you go into that if you're going to go into it? And this is what I want to dive into with Fred Krueger tomorrow. He's all about the number go up, not so much about the revolution, the technology, the freedom. I understand, just a little bit of food for thought, but he has been trading billions of dollars on Wall Street for like 30 years. So be interesting to get his thoughts. But why would someone go into Galaxy Invesco at 0.59% if BlackRock's at 0.3% thereafter? Bitwise 0% first 6 months, or for the first $1 billion, and then 0.24% thereafter. So Bitwise is undercutting BlackRock. The game theory, I wonder if they're going to continue to cut. James Seifert again. Wow, this morning was wild for Bitcoin ETF filers. Here's the state of play of the fee wars. Warfront, lowest long-term fee is Bitwise Invest at 0.24%, followed closely by VanEck at 0.25%. But we also have fee waivers on 3 for 6 months down to 0%, plus BlackRock waiver 2.2%. Absolutely insane, hey. Now, GBDC traded close to $500 million today. This was only released 1 hour ago. Shout out to everyone in the live chat. All those questions there, we will get that rolling very shortly. Yes, Max is the GOAT, Max Kaiser. If you can smash the like button, we've got so much coming up this week. But GBDC traded close to $500 million today, which is more than 99% of the 3,000 current ETFs. And a reminder that they are bringing a volume gun to a knife fight if they launch with everyone else. That said, the 1.5% fee will act as a repellent. Another fascinating subplot. GBDC's fee, 1.5%. It was 2%. They've brought it down. Pretty interesting, hey. Do you reckon they'll change that, or are they going to leave it there? 4 minutes 30. We're not going to play all of it, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, what I'll do is give me a moment. Let's bring it over to the big tally for everyone, and we'll hit play.
As we await the SEC's ruling on the first ever Bitcoin ETF. Let's get to Bob Pisani now with today's ETF Edge and special guest, Kathy Wood. Bob?
Scotty, good to see you. You know, it's been 10 years in the waiting, 10 years. But
and we're here,
enthusiasts
baby.
believe the SEC is finally on the verge of approving a spot Bitcoin ETF, perhaps as soon as this week. We'll see. There's 13 applicants for Bitcoin ETFs.
It'll
First
only
in
be
line,
11 off the
Kathy
bat.
Wood from Ark Invest. Kathy joins us now. Great to see you, Kathy. You know,
Great to
Kathy,
see you.
you were around. It was the Winklevoss twins who filed for the first Bitcoin ETF. It was 2013, as I recall, and I think it took until 2017 for the SEC to reject that application along with all the others. Do you believe your application
Sorry about
will
the
be
subtitles.
approved? And why do you think so? And what kind of negotiations have been in with the SEC about this? Give us a sense of where we are.
Sure. Well, we do think the probability is very high that that Bitcoin ETFs will be approved this week. And the reason, as we've been saying, is, the SEC actually, after, denying a number of times, started asking
That's
questions.
the point.
Very good questions, very detailed questions, very technical questions. So I think they've asked all the questions they need answered, and I think most of us have probably been a part of that process.
So let's assume.
So they're ready.
The SEC approves your application.
They are ready. It is go time. It is TikTok next block, ladies and gentlemen. 172 people live. Now let's get on with the show. First, when that news came out with Blackrock, it was 6 months, and it is actually 12 months, not 6 months, with their fee of 0.2%. Now, Caitlin Long's given out a little bit of a warning here, and something to pay a little bit of attention to. When fees are lower than cost, please ask yourself how the asset manager is making money managing the fund with a no-fee funds. The answer is usually securities lending, a practice that can pose a lot of hidden risk to investors. What's really going on here? That's why I believe it's a great time to get your Bitcoin off the exchanges, Bitcoin-only exchanges. Put it into cold storage, put your seed on steel minimum. Titanium's even better. Protect the world's hardest asset. And if you're trading, maybe the ETF's for you, but to be able to be a self-sovereign individual, it is definitely the real Bitcoin in cold storage. So it's game on. VanEck seeded its Bitcoin ETF with $72.5 million, much higher than the $10 million expected. So VanEck has seeded with 72.5 mil only. Crypto investment firm Bitwise seeded its Bitcoin ETF with 500,000, but noted an additional $200 million cash injection expected from Pantera Capital if the SEC approves applicants. Blackrock and Fidelity seeded their Bitcoin funds with 10 million and 20 million respectively. I wonder why Blackrock's going in with so little money, and we are being hyped up with that $2 billion they have there ready on the sidelines for day one. Do we see that? It'll be interesting. It may be the greatest ETF launch in human history. We'll find out in the next couple of days. These disclosures were either made or fully confirmed in amended S1 forms filed with SEC Jan 8. All these things last minute. So Matt Hogan, really quickly, just a reminder who he is. He'll be coming on Thursday for everyone in the States. Friday, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. This dude.
You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin.
Cut. What if we get him?
You know what's interesting these days? Bitcoin. Look for Bitwise, my friends.
It's pretty awesome, mate. They've got $1 billion asset under management. Matt Hogan, the first guy, not the most interesting guy, but the second most interesting guy in the world. Let's give him credit where credit's due. They did put out the best Bitcoin advertisement that I have seen to date. As soon as I saw that, I've reached out and we've been in conversations ever since to be able to come on the show this week. Get ready, hit subscribe, bell button on. It is going to be absolutely massive. If you've got any questions, if you've got any fears around the ETF for these big asset managers, write them. Tag me on Twitter at Sean Clark, SeanClarke911. Eric, again, ARK just dropped their fee to 0.25%. S1 filed 20 minutes after Blackrock. They can't even wait until these ETFs are given the go-ahead. They are just getting in there. Told you all the feed war would break out before they even launch, and this is without Vanguard on the mix. Damn, it is heating up. What a week that we are in. So Fred Krueger, he is the one stirring the Bitcoin pot hardcore at the moment. He is in here for number go up technology, not for the self-sovereign individual side. Again, tag me on Twitter at Sean Clark. It's going to be an absolutely insane conversation. So that will be going live tomorrow in 22 hours and 42 minutes from now. So do hit that notification button. Here's a couple of things you notice. My notes on this excellent interview with the top 2 analysts on Bloomberg. ETFs as a whole have really exploded in the last 5 years. This is part of a bigger trend away from brokers into fee-based advisors. The ETF is tailor-made for advisors. The Hunger Games for the most liquid ETF will lead to one overall winner. Once this winner is crowned, network effect sets in and you can't compete with just lower fees. The fact that Blackrock is in the mix dramatically raised the chance of this passing. This is literally the 4th branch of the government. This is who the Fed turned to in COVID for bond QE buys. It's what I was saying before. I actually didn't read step number 3, but we did see that. Blackrock and the Fed talk. They've got a direct line with each other, and it's pretty interesting. JP Morgan is the largest shareholder. All these things are lining up, hey? This is who the Fed turned to during COVID for bond QE buys. A revolving door between the Fed, the SEC, and Blackrock is a real is alongside JP Morgan. This is the most significant ETF in the last decade. Lucky that's paused. It is a seminal event, not just for Bitcoin, but for Blackrock and the industry. If you're not following Natalie Brunell, follow Natalie Brunell, an amazing journalist in the space, yeah? Now, Oliver, with my view that the Bitcoin spot ETFs will be approved today, I don't think they're going to be approved today, but it's looking pretty likely tomorrow and the next couple of days, the 25th anniversary of the first mined Bitcoin block. Be correct, price movement might just be saying it could be. This would be a silent nod in honor of the network if it did let us see. So it's not being approved today, ladies and gentlemen, but look at that. It's TikTok next block. Are you here? And are you holding on? Because it is going to be up, down, and sideways. I have been talking to everyone for a very long time. $10,000, $20,000 daily candles. They're happening. They're coming. Hold on, get ready. Today was $3,600, maybe a little bit more. We'll jump into the price action shortly. Just hold on, stack, follow a game plan, chill, do your best. Most people are getting priced out of holding one full Bitcoin. If you made it, well done. If you're still stacking hard, kudos to you. So let's get on with this. We watched Cathie Wood there, Justin ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood on the spot Bitcoin ETF. We think the probability is very high the Bitcoin ETFs will be approved this week. Just a gentle reminder, things are about to get hectic. Just bringing up Max Kaiser again. I have one word for you, $100,000 Bitcoin God candle, Qatar. The rumors are getting very loud on this. The Sovereign Wealth Fund rumoured to be looking to buy $500 billion BTC. He's gone awfully silent on this, but he has been liaising with them, and he did for quite a while. So we'll see. $500 billion, $500 billion coming in would send it to the moon and price out nearly everyone. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't know. To put that much money in straight away, the price of Bitcoin, it'd be absolutely insane. And there's so little Bitcoin going around. I don't know. We will see. It would put a $100,000 God candle. I wouldn't be hoping on it. I'd just be stacking, following your plan. Some people are going to be so angry. So a shout out to Rajat. Some people are going to be so angry when Bitcoin reaches 100K, then 250, then $1 million plus. Instead of spending the time to learn about Bitcoin with an open mind, there are people out there bashing it. They'll be angry with Bitcoiners for being able to make money without doing anything, because hindsight is 2020. I've got something to say in regards to that. I think Bitcoiners are doing the hardest part. They're going against the crowd and buying Bitcoin while family and friends are telling them they're making the wrong decision, gambling, buying into a Ponzi scheme, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been reading the books, you've been studying, you've been paying attention, you've been stacking the stats, it's not luck that's got you here. It's your conviction I want to shout out to Bitcoin Evangelism, Brian Diamond. We'll get him on hopefully next week. It may be the week after. I'll push him for it. He's busy as. There is a link at the top of the description. Read the books. Yes, it's a little bit thick. I spilt half a litre of water on it yesterday. I've been drying it out, and I actually did a pretty good job of it. It hasn't destroyed the book too much. It was so sad. My keyboard was good as well. I didn't care about the keyboard, just about the book. Anyway, there's a link below. Read the books or eat the bugs. And fight against the FUD from family, friends, colleagues, whoever it is, because they will say you're lucky, and you'll be like, I don't know, like the amounts of books that I give out to people and they hand them back, oh, it's too intense. You're like, okay, you're working your whole life for dirty old fiat and you don't even understand what money is. And they're going to call you lucky and they're going to miss out. Now, Sam Callahan from Swan on the team of Swan, absolutely love what this man has to say. And one more time, if you can smash the like button, if you like Sam, if you like this content, if you think the Bitcoin ETF will be there, it's super, super simple. Appreciate it, yo.
It's certainly an exciting time in Bitcoin. And the reason why the industry is so excited about a spot Bitcoin ETF is it'll give access to millions of investors who currently find it a little bit harder to get exposure to Bitcoin. It'll now be as easy as any other stock or bond to purchase Bitcoin in a traditional brokerage account. But specifically, who this helps the most is large institutions that manage trillions of dollars of wealth. Think financial advisors, broker-dealers, endowments, pension funds. Right now, it's not that they don't want to get exposure to Bitcoin. They can't because of regulatory requirements that restrict them from buying spot Bitcoin. But a Bitcoin ETF changes that because it's just a security like any other stock or bond. So it fits into their existing regulatory frameworks. And so now what we could potentially see is these large institutions investing tens of billions of dollars into the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which will drive demand for the underlying Bitcoin. When you couple that with Bitcoin supply, which is fixed at 21 million, it's not really difficult to see why the industry is excited about the potential moving forward.
Well, I know I'm excited. I guess I'm a perma bull because long term, I don't care about the volatility day to day. It really does not worry me. If it's red, I buy. If it's green, I buy. Just stack and chill. I've been doing that for many, many years. I'd like to know what you've been doing. Do you buy on the green days or the red days? So like, I'll show you this really quickly. Big green buy button, obviously not financial advice. You're all adults here. If there's a red button, it's a big buy button as well. Make the most of it, this opportunity. If the spot Bitcoin ETF is approved, let's get rid of the altcoins in the background. I do apologize for swearing. I made it 4 days. We'll see if we can get to 7 at some stage. It is a personal mission. That was at the start of the video. If we do get this ETF, this is probably the only chance that retirement accounts have to be able to fund people's retirements. There's no other option. Bitcoin is the best performing asset. So many people retiring, they're not guessing, if you adjust for inflation, the returns that they are needed to support everyone that has signed up for those retirement accounts. If you can go self-managed super fund or whatever it is and manage and hold your own Bitcoin, well, maybe that's a pretty good option to look into. If you need help with it and it's not sponsored, you can reach out to the Bitcoin Way on Twitter. I'll try to put a link there below for them. If you need help to be able to stack and really lock it down, you can do that. They're great people. I have had Tony on here. You can see there, he is calling for $1 billion Bitcoin, but the time horizon, you need to look out, yeah. And even price targets, they don't worry me. One Bitcoin's one Bitcoin. But honestly, these fees are so low and the ETFs will trade absurdly tight, penny-wide bid-ask spreads and without any commissions on most platforms. Don't be surprised when the fee war leaks out beyond just the ETF. Now, US-based ETF assets surpass $8 trillion as of the 31st of December 2023. What percent can Bitcoin spot ETFs capture? What do you reckon it would be? Is it 0.1% would be $8 billion? If we get $8 billion, that sends us to 69, like 130 $150,000 or higher, 150,000, because the multiplier effect will change Bitcoin's price on the margin. 1%, $80 billion. We're over $1 million, ladies and gentlemen, if that happens there. Let us know what you think. 0.1%, 1%, 10%. Over time, we don't need to give a time target, like not next year. It's not going to happen straight away, but slowly then suddenly. Make this make sense. Because of the Bitcoin ETFs, more money will flow into Bitcoin. People will be able to buy the Bitcoin retirement accounts. Institutional investors will be able to buy Bitcoin for their reserves without having to do hundreds of hours of due diligence. The companies offering the ETF will market Bitcoin to everyone everywhere in the world. Bitcoin is going to be seen by Wall Street as a legitimate asset for the first time. Bitcoin's price is purely based on supply and demand. ETFs will lead to much higher demand. Supply can never increase. And we've got the halving next year. We could see a rate cut, I think, as soon as March as well. We'll find out in the next meeting, about 22 days away, what they're indicating. Well, I reckon we get a pause and then we get a rate cut. Bitcoin's price purely based supply and demand, and yet somehow people think ETF approvals will be a negative for Bitcoin. How delusional can you get? What do you reckon? Is it a sell the news, or are we going to absolutely pump when the ETF goes, or do we just go sideways? What are your thoughts? I don't think personally, and it's not financial advice, it's just my opinion. I'm happy to be wrong. If we get a big dip, I'm buying. If it goes up, I'm still buying. Let us know what you think. I don't think it's a sell the news event. And if it is, it's going to be bought up very quickly. Bitcoin closing in on 1,920,779,475,427 for the market cap there. Let me just, while we've got the 69 number here on screen, 46,993. We've got 6, 9, and 3 in there. They are the numbers Nikola Tesla calls the universe. If you understand that, you understand the universe. We do see, let me hit refresh, ladies and gentlemen. 43,247 is the low, 47,193 as the high. The price right now, 47,029. It is liking that $47,000 level. And yesterday we were talking about it. We only need $4 billion. People are calling for less to reach all-time highs of $69,000 again. That 69 number just keeps coming up. 4 bill will lead to 69,000. Maybe it's even less if that multiplier effect changes as the money goes up and the FOMO kicks in. Now, I'm going to jump into the questions, ladies and gentlemen, or if you've just got something degenerate to say, have a little bit of fun. It is a glorious day. We are on the ETF watch. Shout out to Jim D, who are in Outlaw J75 and Pump for the Pump. Honestly, I'm wanting the dip screen. I definitely prefer the dips as well. Do we get more? There's always going to be dips. FOMO, FUD, just follow your plan, ladies and gentlemen. Volatile AF, it is coming. Pointy07, g'day. TRX, good morning. Who are in? Karan. Yeah, keep your nonsense out of the chat. I'm not even going to bring that. Habib, g'day everyone. Rory Sailor, co-host, block height 824,913. We are at block height 824,917. We have gone through 4 blocks since we have started here. There's a lot of comments. Let me race through. Digi, Rory, get some lights. Matt, g'day from Victoria. Had Crow shipping Bitcoin last 2 years, holding finally going to pay this year. I don't know, sometimes it's better to cut your losses. Best of luck with the altcoins, mate. I hope the Bitcoin stacks way higher than the altcoins there. And it is what it is. You know, if you got them cheap and you've written it off, enjoy. Retro Bieber, if it dips, I buy. If it pumps, I buy. Investing made simple, love it. Jim D, always bet on Max. Maybe not in the short term, but long term, Max is just calling it over and over and over again. He is almost prophetic. He can see things so far out, and we think this is happening straight away. Max has been pretty good. Yes, he's made some wrong calls as well, but overall, I think we can bet on Max. Max is the GOAT, greatest of all time. That's Retro Beaver. Burton, why would you buy Bitcoin ETF paper when you could buy the real thing, put it in your wallet? I don't know. It will open it up to institutions, to Wall Street. For the retail investor, yeah, put it into cold storage, ladies and gentlemen. Get it off the exchanges. I was reading this post yesterday. 22-year-old guy had about $10,000 in his bank, had over $100,000 USD on an exchange, and he was happy to leave it there because the exchange was never going to go bust. Best of luck. Greetings, guys. Jim T. A lot of people buy because they don't know how to buy now, and investment advisors can't sell. Many people only use advisors. Hope many were able to get to one whole Bitcoin. Me too. In regards to that, some people will go into the ETF and then they'll start reading the books. They'll learn about it. They'll go into self-custody. They'll jump on. That's what's so important, to be able to get this video out, subscribe to every Bitcoin YouTube channel, because the more that happens, the more Bitcoin-only content is pushed. People will start Googling it. Google and YouTube are the same company, the same corporation. Google's the biggest search engine in the world. YouTube's the second. What is Bitcoin? It'll go out. If we can get Bitcoin-only content in front of them, then it may allow them to be able to sell and then go into self-custody. That's the aim here, to be a sovereign individual. Now, buckle up, boys. Mr. Android, g'day to see you. Hooked on Sound, what a great name. G'day from Canada. Those who really understand Bitcoin would never touch any Bitcoin ETF unless they're in there for a quick trade or some reason, I don't know. For me, I won't be doing it. I'll be asking Fred Krueger tomorrow what he thinks about it. John Creasy, good to see you, brother. All ETFs smash approved in a day or two and commence the Mo Omega candle. Pump my bags, Larry. Effing send it. I hold GBDC in a retirement account, but will def move to a different issuer if Grayscale doesn't get their fees right. Jim D, with that, shout out to you. Like in Australia, we have retirement accounts, they're called superannuation, but then you can go to a self-managed super account. In the self-managed super account, I've got Bitcoin in cold storage, so I can control it. Like, can you not do that in the States? Like, let us know. Why wouldn't you just buy the real thing with your retirement money and then take custody of it? It's just not allowed to, full stop. Jonathan, 69,996.96 I saw this morning. That's absolutely awesome. It was at $69,000 Australian. I can bring it up here and let you know the price. 69,893. So we are at an all-time high. If Australia dollars were US dollars, yes, I'm just looking for a rhyme there. It doesn't work. But anyway, we are above $69,000 here in Australia. I thought Grayscale was lowest at 0.25%. No, the Grayscale's the highest at 1.5%. They dropped it by 50 basis points from 2%. The Bitwise ad was an inflection point. Absolutely. Just a reminder, Matt Hogan is here Thursday. It's like, I think, I'll post on Twitter at Sean Clark 911, but I'll also put that video out, and then you can just hit notification, subscribe notification. You'll know when that goes live. Fred Krueger tomorrow, Seb Bunny the next day, and then Matt Hogan. And it looks like we are getting the CTS. So Bitwise, it's the best ad so far, and I think it's just the start of it. What happens at the Super Bowl? Is someone going to go all out with that? Larry just buffeted Gary. Fred's latest tweet is a fire. Fred, who? Let us know. Salty Dog, I'll try get to it. I'm going to have to race through all these. Retro Beavers, shout out. Alexander, hey lads, I'm here to repeat what I said yesterday. ETF gets approved and we will never see Bitcoin close below 40K. Again, 100% possible. Liquidity is the name of the game. Have you changed your broadcast times? Haven't you normally been earlier than this? Paul V, my wife's got some time off, so we're just going super chill. Tomorrow will be 6:30 Australian Eastern. Tomorrow will be 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. The next day, 6:30 Australian Eastern Time. The day after that with Matt Hogan, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. This year will be crazy. Then I'll go back to 5:35 Australian Eastern Standard Time for the rest of the year, once my wife's back at work. So that's just playing it. We went to the beach this morning. It was absolutely beautiful. And I like doing the Bitcoin thing first thing, but, you know, life's so short and nature is so amazing. So I don't know. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with me for the next week and a half or so. Still stacking, Shawnee, 0.7777. Luke, well done. Thanks, Jim. And Luke, don't put how much Bitcoin you have out there into the world. You will be a high net worth individual if you hold on to it for long enough. So probably not the smartest idea, but well done on the stack. The CTF will break records, made it faces. 500 billion, that's nutty. Short term, yeah, for sure. Front running greatest feeling on earth. Once that equals $1, that's when Bitcoin's about a million out of a million. By the way, I've just completed my purchase of 1 Bitcoin on the weekend. Well done, Paul. Again, don't let people know how much Bitcoin you have. That makes absolutely 0 sense, ladies and gentlemen. You are putting a target on your back there, but well done on stacking. Maybe just say goal achieved or achievement unlocked or leveled up or whatever. Max just found a piece of paper with Bitcoin key to 5 Bitcoin and old code he had not worn in years. I did see when he was saying that as well. Pretty cool. Honestly, open-mindedness, willingness got us here. How it works. LFG. Yous are insane. There's so many comments. Baz, adventures, man. He's so Bitcoin rich that it's like pennies for him. I'd love to know Max Kaiser's stack. He's up like 220,000% or something like that. Insane. Remember Bitcoin at 69, and that's without the ETS. It would have made it to 100K, but certain factors stopped the bull run short. In my opinion, this is from Tony Love. 100% agree. I think the China Bitcoin mining ban was the number one thing, and then obviously FTX and stuff, all the paper train that was going on. It'll be interesting to see. Ether's dying, the world is healing. Cat Purse Boy is selling. Usually I don't do anything in regards to ETH and altcoins. I stay away because it's a mind virus, but I did post a video of Ethereum's leader on Twitter yesterday. Crazy. And people trust this dude. Oh, man. I don't know. You can check it out there. You need to scroll down. It's probably like 4 tweets deep. Oh, we're getting the ETF. Gary was just spreading FUD. Congrats, man. Not selling news. We could easily eclipse gold by year's end. 650K Bitcoin by New Year's. It's possible. I'm not sure if I'm in that camp yet. Maybe I'm a little bit too bearish. I think it's going to go higher than we expect, but like these $1 million calls and stuff, I don't know. If it happens, it's all good. It doesn't worry me regardless, but, you know, that's a lot of money to fly and flow in straight away. Nick, if you're watching live and you've just messaged me, shout out to you, brother. I'll try to give you a holler today. A lot of amendments are only just filed today. Blackrock Galaxy, 21 games and more big ones. GCA through the news. Emojis. Alexander, buy the top today, keep buying the top tomorrow. 100K is on the horizon. And this Michael Saylor as well is what he says. He'll always just continue to buy the top. G'day to James, Tony Love. I'm going to race through. JDN, Coco, g'day, Mr. Android. Javier, Mark Johnson, love the bullish sentiment, 100% correct. JDN, Wholecoin is going to be the new elite. You absolutely are. Well done. And over time, people that even have half a Bitcoin or maybe a little bit less are going to be the new elite as well. What's your time horizon look like? Do you zoom out? Do you just stack? Do you just chill? Make the most of it. Gold down 6%, just saying. Has anyone checked on Peter Schiff lately? Is he doing all right? To 60K in no time, buckle up. Jason Watson, g'day. Stacks like a boss. I like this. Over the entire bear market, well, some people around me laugh. Retro Beaver. How do I say it without saying it? Sometimes it's a good feeling to be able to rub stuff in their face when you do then, to have the last laugh or just smile inwardly. Actually, in all seriousness, I feel bad for people that haven't gotten into Bitcoin. Maybe they get an opportunity, but I think that window is closing pretty quickly. So best of luck to everyone. Just again, if you're just tuned in, a lot of people have just tuned in. We've got Fred Krueger on tomorrow, Seb Bunning the day after, and then Matt Hogan Thursday for the US time. So hit subscribe if we vibe. And if you can smash the like button, it really does help. It's the only thing that I ask of you there. This channel has the best vibe going. Appreciate it. James, what a guy. G'day, Sean. Thanks for the great work you're doing. Greetings, Rizzle. Oh, I like that. Alpha's back. Let's go, crew. Crypto Shaman. If I have 10 million, I'd rather buy an ETF first, self-custody. Why? I don't know. Is that because you got crypto in your name, Shaman? I don't know. I'm trolling, man. But why would you? If you're that self-sovereign, yeah? Why are you holding the ETF? We showed you the warning earlier that Caitlin Long put out. I don't know. Bitcoin is eventually going to hit $100 million per Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. It's the world's hardest form of money. It's going to be here for hundreds of years, if not longer. The ETF is good. And you won't be able to buy Bitcoin. You'll only be able to earn it. Or it's going to be extremely expensive. It's going to be very hard to be able to buy Bitcoin. ETF is good because people who know nothing about Bitcoin will end up holding it indirectly through pension providers. Most people have no idea what their pensions are actually related to. Absolutely. In Australia, one of the biggest things, and I was already out of there, but the government here is trying to use, however, hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars that's in the retirement accounts to be able to spend it on things where we don't have a choice, military spending and stuff. They can see this big bucket of money there, and then they want to put UBI type style out there. Everyone will be paid, I don't know, whatever they call it, handouts really, and they'll just give everyone enough money. And then obviously with UBI, then inflation ramps up. It's all insidious. Just stack and chill. You'd be insane to buy 10 million Bitcoin ETF. The fees over time will eat away your profits. Even with the low one, news today, estimate 8% premium for ETFs. Wall Street always wins. Of course they do. They're here to make money. We'll never see 30K ever again. I would go with the 98% conviction. We are being warned about black swan events this year as well. So, I don't know. Just keep these things in mind, cyber attacks and stuff. The WEF is preparing and running games. Well, they have already. They did this before the pandemic as well, 3 months before. They played a game and in preparation of what would happen, and they are doing that with cyber attacks now, and we are being warned about black swan events. Their occult beliefs are, they have to tell us what they're doing. So, I don't know. Maybe it happens this year, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's 5, 10, 20 years away. We live in a digital age, but we do have the biggest elections of human history happening at this year. Over 3.2 billion people, I think. Definitely over 3 billion people this year will be voting. It's going to be potentially the year of chaos. So strap in, stack, chill, hold it in self-custody. Again, steel, it's $11 off Amazon. Seador, it's a Rolls Royce. It's going to cost you well over $100 to do it. It's better, but for $11, you can put your seed on steel. For free, you can put your seed wherever you like, ladies and gentlemen. That's your choice. It's your money, your choice. I've just played. But please, just don't put it on paper. Whatever you do, don't put it on paper. One thing, I'll get to the comments, but it's not the best. There are other options. But say you get 3 of these plates. On the first plate, you put the first 16 words. On the second plate, you put the last 16 words. On the third plate, you put the first 8 and the last 8 words. And then you put them in separate countries, locations, whatever it is. And then you need the 2 out of the 3 to get a full seed. That's better than having it all on one little thing. I don't know, just a little bit of food for thought, yeah? Remember the day's last chance to buy under 10K USD. US. Bitcoin's changed my life. Me too. I remember the 3,500 area. Me too. Wasn't it so exciting? I think 3,300 or 3,600. I was like, darling, this is just a life opportunity. And it's amazing. It was incredible. But even now, it's that opportunity. You know, you get this FOMO, the FUD. You're like, oh, Bitcoin's too expensive. Just wait. Like, fiat's debasing so quickly, and it's going to continue to debase so quickly. So even 47,000, I'm still buying, ladies and gentlemen. So it is what it is. You do you. But those days, the whole time, every day in crypto is a good day, yeah? Colin, g'day Sean, welcome from New Zealand. Kia ora, brother. I have to thank Andreas Antonopoulos in 2017 for orange pulling me. Colin, I'm not sure what you're up to. I'm playing, bro. I'll keep this as PG. I started the stream off with a swear word, and not on my A game, hey? We broke that challenge. We'll go for 7 days. But orange pilling me, my family are nearly all in and have hodled like lunatics. Kudos to you. Retro Beavers, Shaman, okay, then 10 million on my Trezor. No, not on a Trezor. Use something better than Trezor. Going to BTC Sessions on YouTube. Oh, man. Trezor's almost like Ledger, almost. I don't know. Stay the hell away from Ledger, ladies and gentlemen. Don't use Ledger. Anyway, press caress and press the like button. Dana Steele, press caress and press the like button. You made my day, brother. Totally agreed. Break-in rule number 2. Me, I don't know. Yeah, STFU is a rule number 2. Obviously, it's my job to break rule number 2. But ladies and gentlemen, yeah, definitely don't say what your stack is. As you say, TikTok next block, nothing changes. It's mindset and game theory, and it is and has always been play the game. I'm predicting 330k USD by first quarter 2025. Bitcoin hits 1 mil. Do you trust it on a ledger? I don't trust anything on a ledger. Full stop, Sean. Nothing. Get it off the ledger. Jade and Cold Card are the best hardware wallets in my opinion. I don't recommend any Bitcoin wallets. Please go into BTC Sessions on YouTube for that. But I would say Jaden Cold Card are definitely something to do proper in-depth research into because they are great. I'm not endorsing it. You need to do your own research. Go into BTC Sessions, but have a look at his reviews on the Jaden the Cold Card. It's just pretty cool to communicate with BTC. So great to be able to come with a Bitcoin brother half a world away. It's always a pleasure. Everyone should share Sean with a couple of people, get his subs up. That would be absolutely fantastic. If you can share the video, get it out there. Obviously, the interviews this week coming up. And if you haven't seen the interview with Greg Foss, that one's intense. This guy is really intense. There's a lovely one there with Natalie Brunel, the author of Bitcoin Evangelism, Brian D. Mint. This guy here, there's an interview with the author of Beers for Bitcoin, Daz B, and Seb Bunny is coming on Thursday, Wednesday for everyone in the States. There's some amazing podcasts. Alex Fetsky, we've had him on twice now. Peter Dunworth. Jump in there. They're under videos. Check him out. A huge award for watching any of the Fetsky videos. He is a toxic Bitcoin maxi, and he stirs people up hardcore. So you've been warned, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to that. Smash the like. Okay, good. PooCoin isn't a swear. It's an accurate description. I absolutely agree. I was trying to go for a week. We made it 4 days. I'm doing my best. Anyway, there will be a time in the future where ledgers and Trezors will be vulnerable to radio frequency hacks. Happen before. Next time will be huge. And that's why you want your seed on a steel as well. It's just a signing device. It's just there to be able to use your private key. Will we see you at Bitcoin Alive in Sydney? You sure will. I cannot wait. So excited for it. Imagine selling your stack for dirty fiat. I don't even think about it. Everyone, do not take your Bitcoins on a boat. This is a grave warning. So many Bitcoiners have been going out on boats and they sink. So stay away from boats. Don't have any boating accidents. It's this theme with Bitcoiners. It's pretty scary, actually. It's probably Bitcoiners out of any cohort getting to the most boating accidents ever. It's absolutely remarkable. Get out of ledger, get out of ledger. Your smile says it all, Mark Johnson. Damn, 47 minutes late, or am I really early? Soul surfing. You're here now, brother. You are here in the present moment. Every day is a good day. What cold storage do you use, mate? There is no way. I'm telling you, go into BTC Sessions on YouTube. And I just spent over $1,000 with my cold storage options last week. So maybe a little bit paranoid, excessive. I am a public figure. You do you. And if you really need help, again, the Bitcoin way, cybersecurity experts, check out that video I did with Tony if you need help with it. 30 minutes free. I'm not paid to say this, but really helped me out on my journey, yeah? Why not Ledger? Because they're a scam. They give away everybody's personal details. Have been hacked over and over again. Just everything about Ledger is so bad. They're multi-sig type options and stuff. Yeah, they've got a backdoor. Allegedly. I won't. Just stay away from them. Why not Ledger? just because they're really bad. Imagine the elites drive the price so high that the plebs cannot afford it, like what they did with Berkshire Hathaway. It's probably the end goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to, and that's why it's so important to hold and sell storage. Now, we have seen those warnings here. Bitcoin's going to be much higher. The general population is not going to be able to afford a full Bitcoin. Obviously, sats and stuff, I understand you get that. And people, if Bitcoin becomes the world currency, you'll be paid in Satoshis. Or if the US dollar becomes backed by it, it's probably their only way out of the death spiral that's happening. Does it happen? Maybe it takes 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years or longer. But that's the trajectory of Bitcoin. We remember, it's only 15 years old. Bitcoin is still young and it's the 9th most valuable asset in the world. Pretty cool. Mr. Android, I'm going on a boat this evening, actually. Can't wait. Hey, please be careful, bro. Real careful. Life of a 40-something. Shout out. Love your channel, mate. I read today that Standard Chartered believe US ETF inflow will come in over the next 5 years. What would that do to the price? Depends how much comes in. It depends really what the Fed does. Do they reduce interest rates, and then are people looking to be able to put that capital to better use somewhere else? Bitcoin's obviously been the best performing asset for the last 3, 5, and 15 years. I think 3, 5, 10, 15 years. So it really depends what the Fed does, what the liquidity cycle does. I'll dive into this with Seb Bunny, as probably the best person to have an in-depth conversation with. So in 2 days' time. 55 billion USD inflow. Sorry. So 4 billion roughly sends us to 69,000. So say 55 billion. I don't know. Is that $500,000 Bitcoin price or higher potentially? Back of the napkin moon math there. Just smashing the Algo World Explorer. Always good to see you. Crypto Curtis, I got in at 9K. Kudos to you. Quick question, the Beatles or the Rolling Stones? The Beatles. Dave Bell, I try keep it. I know your comments all good, but I'm going to just skip past it. Good morning from Cairns. I just don't know. I know what you're saying. I'm just hung up on that word. Mark Johnson, answer both to the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Into the forest, subscribe and humble the like, smash the bell notifications for all live stream in Bitcoin Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say a few things. We are in very volatile times, very fun times. It's going to be enjoyable. Bitcoin is going to go up, down, and sideways. $10,000, $20,000 days. If Samson Mao's $1 million prediction comes true in whatever way possible, however that happens, say it does though, and we have $100,000 days aligning Samson Mao and Max Kaiser together. It's wild. It's a huge... I don't know. It's really going to melt faces. We saw $3,600 today. We're going to see $5,000. We saw $4,000, was it last week or the week before? It's nothing. So these $10,000, $20,000 days, be prepared, stack, chill, follow your plan, the FOMO, the FUD. Obviously hit subscribe. I'll keep you informed with what's going on a day-to-day basis and the big news events, but we just need to zoom out a bit because the trend is... and it continues to be that it goes up and to the right forever. Laura, so Dave Bell, no worries, love your content, all-time high soon. If we get the ETF, it's going to be sooner rather than later. If we don't get this ETF this week, this is probably a good point as well. Say we don't, there will be a correction. And it, in my opinion, it's going to be bought up pretty quickly because the next date will be March, which is still before the halving. So either way, it's looking likely that the numbers start getting big very quickly. Stack, chill, follow your plan. Obviously not financial advice, but we'll keep you up to date. Matt Hogan coming on Friday. Super excited. We've been in conversation ever since Bitwise. He's the Chief Investment Officer. Second most interesting man. We've been in conversations for ever since that Bitwise ad was released. Seb Bunny, co-author of Beers for Bitcoin, author of his new book. We'll dive into that. And Fred Krueger, who's here for Number Go Up, had $1 billion that he was trading on Wall Street. I think he was there for about 30 odd years. Interesting guy. He's really stirring up the Bitcoin community. So if you've got any questions, tag me on Twitter at Sean Clark 911. Do something nice. for a stranger. Maybe pick up some rubbish off the beach. Whatever it is, be blessed. Peace.